Imagine this. You're in your kitchen, making your morning coffee. The beans, the grinder, the water, the familiar mug in your hands. It's a ritual you've performed thousands of times. But today, for a split second, you pause. The sequence feels foreign. The next step, which should be automatic, is suddenly a question mark. The moment passes. You shake it off as a bit of morning fog. But then, other little glitches appear. You find yourself standing in the grocery aisle, unable to remember the one thing you came for. You call a familiar face by the wrong name. These aren't the dramatic, movie-like scenes of memory loss. They are quiet, subtle static on the radio of your life. This is the reality for so many. Globally, a new case of dementia is diagnosed every 3 seconds. But here's the secret that isn't often told. Dementia doesn't arrive like a sudden storm. It's more like a slow, silent change in the climate of the mind. A process that can begin years, even decades, before a diagnosis is ever made. But what if we could learn to read the weather? What if we could spot those first faint clouds on the horizon? Hello, and welcome to Young at Heart, your space for thriving through every chapter of life. In today's vital conversation, we're not going to focus on fear. We're going to focus on foresight. We will gently explore 10 of the most overlooked early signs of dementia, the whispers you might be tempted to ignore. By the end of this video, you won't just be more aware, you'll be more prepared, more hopeful, and more in control of your cognitive future. Before we dive in, I'd love to know, what aspect of your wellness are you focusing on most right now? Is it your mental clarity, your physical energy, or your emotional balance? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your journey inspires our community. And if you believe in the power of proactive health, be sure to subscribe to Young at Heart and join our family. All right, let's begin. Our first sign isn't found in a memory test, but in the rhythm of your own 2 feet. Sign number 1, the unsteady compass. We often blame a bit of clumsiness or a slower walk on getting older. A stiff knee, a sore back, it's just wear and tear, right? But what if your body's internal compass is being subtly recalibrated by your brain? Pay attention to changes in your gait and balance. Are you suddenly more hesitant on stairs? Do you find yourself reaching for walls or furniture for support more often? Perhaps your steps have become smaller, more shuffling, or you feel a persistent, slight lean to one side. This isn't just about muscle weakness. It's about a breakdown in communication between the brain and the body. The cerebellum and frontal lobes, our brain's command centers for motor control and coordination, are often among the early areas affected by sign number 2. The world goes muted. Think about how you experience the world. The rich aroma of baking bread, the vibrant color of a sunset, the ability to pick out a friend's voice in a crowded cafe. Dementia can begin to mute these sensory experiences, turning down the volume on life itself. This often starts with a diminished sense of smell, a condition known as anosmia. Researchers at Johns Hopkins have highlighted that the olfactory bulb, which processes smells, is one of the first brain structures to show signs of Alzheimer's pathology. In one study, seniors with significant smell loss had a doubled risk of developing memory problems. But it's not just smell. It's also about visual processing. Are you finding it harder to judge distances, maybe bumping into table corners or misjudging the curb? This is called a loss of spatial awareness. Or perhaps you're becoming easily overwhelmed by sensory input, where the clatter of dishes and a background TV make it impossible to focus on a conversation. This isn't just a hearing problem. It's your brain struggling to filter and prioritize information. When the world starts to feel less vivid and more confusing, it's a sign worth listening to. Sign number 3. The fading power in your hands. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you struggled with a simple jar lid? Or found that carrying a bag of groceries felt surprisingly strenuous? We often dismiss weakening strength as an inevitable part of aging. But your grip strength, specifically, is a powerful biomarker for your brain health. Think of your hands as the endpoint of a complex neurological circuit. To grip something tightly, your brain has to send a strong, clear signal down your spinal cord and through your nerves to your muscles. When that signal weakens, it's not just the muscle that's failing. In a major 2021 study in the journal BMJ confirmed this, showing a direct correlation between lower grip strength and a higher incidence of dementia. For every 5-kilogram decrease in grip strength, the risk of dementia increased significantly. This isn't just about being frail. It's about the integrity of your entire nervous system. If you notice a consistent and unexplained decline in your strength, see it not just as a physical change, but as a potential message from your brain. While the body might be slowing down during the day, what happens at night can be an even more profound clue. Sign number 4. The midnight anarchy. You used to sleep like a log. Now, you're a regular at the 3 a.m. club, staring at the ceiling. Or maybe your partner tells you that you're kicking, shouting, or acting out your dreams in your sleep. Disrupted sleep isn't just a nuisance. It's a critical warning sign. Our brains have a remarkable janitorial service called the glymphatic system, which is most active during deep sleep. This is when it clears out metabolic waste and toxic proteins, including beta amyloid, the infamous hallmark of Alzheimer's disease. When sleep is consistently fragmented, the cleanup crew can't do its job. The toxins build up, accelerating damage to neurons. In particular, a condition called REM sleep behavior disorder, where people physically act out their dreams, is now considered a powerful predictor of certain types of dementia, like Lewy body dementia, often appearing years before any cognitive symptoms. So, don't just see restless nights as a sign of stress or age. See them as a potential disruption to your brain's most essential maintenance cycle. So, sign number 5. The silent retreat. Your favorite hobby was gardening. You lived for your weekly book club. You loved the buzz of family get-togethers. But lately, you just can't be bothered. It's not that you're sad or depressed. It's more like the color has been slowly draining from your life's canvas. This emotional flattening is called apathy, and it's one of the most misunderstood early signs of dementia. Unlike depression, which is an active feeling of sadness, apathy is an emptiness, a loss of motivation. The brain's frontal lobes, responsible for initiative and drive, are beginning to falter. A 2022 study in neurology emphasized that persistent apathy in older adults is a significant red flag for progressing cognitive decline, independent of depression. You might notice a loved one becoming more passive, less emotionally responsive, or withdrawing from social activities they once cherished. It's a quiet retreat from the world, and it's a profound signal that the brain's motivational circuits are in trouble. When this emotional distance is paired with difficulty engaging in conversation, the pattern becomes even clearer. Sign number 6. The lost vocabulary. You're telling a story and you're searching for a simple word. It's right there on the tip of your tongue, a ghost on the edge of your mind, but you just can't grasp it. Or you find yourself substituting words, calling a watch a hand clock or a fork a food poker. We all have these moments, but when they become frequent and frustrating, they can signal a condition called aphasia, a difficulty with language. In early dementia, this isn't about losing your intelligence. It's about the filing system in your brain's language center becoming disorganized. You might find yourself pausing for long stretches mid-sentence, repeating the same story you told just minutes ago, or struggling to follow the thread of a fast-moving conversation. According to the Mayo Clinic, for some people with a specific subtype of dementia called primary progressive aphasia, language problems are the very first and most prominent symptom, long before memory is significantly impacted. When words begin to fail, it's a sign to pay close attention. Sign number 7, the glitching hard drive. This is the sign we all associate with dementia, memory loss. But it's not as simple as forgetting where you put your keys. Normal age-related memory change is forgetting the name of an acquaintance, but remembering it later. Dementia-related memory loss is forgetting you ever knew them at all. Think of your short-term memory as your computer's RAM or active workspace. In early dementia, this system starts to glitch. New information doesn't get saved properly to the hard drive. You might ask the same question repeatedly because to your brain, you're asking it for the first time. You might forget the plot of a movie you just watched or a conversation you had this morning. The Alzheimer's Association points out a key difference. A healthy brain might forget an appointment but will remember it later. A brain affected by dementia may forget the appointment entirely and not even realize they missed it. When forgetfulness begins to disrupt your daily safety and routine, like forgetting to turn off the stove or missing medications, it's no longer a senior moment. It's a critical signal. Sign number 8, the broken calendar and clock. You wake up feeling disoriented. Is it Tuesday or Thursday? Morning or afternoon? The normal rhythms of time that anchor our lives start to feel fluid and confusing. This disorientation in time and place is a classic hallmark of dementia. It can be subtle at first, losing track of the date or the season, but it can progress to feeling lost in familiar places, like your own neighborhood or even your own home. You might take a wrong turn on a route you've driven for 20 years or forget why you left the house in the first place. This happens because dementia can damage the brain's internal GPS and clock, located in areas like the hippocampus. A 2021 review in The Lancet noted that spatial and temporal disorientation is experienced by a majority of patients in the early years of their diagnosis. It's a deeply unsettling feeling, as if the very map of your life is being erased. Sign number 9. The unending echo. What time are we leaving, you ask. Your daughter answers, at 3 o'clock, Mom. A few minutes pass. What time did you say we were leaving? This repetitive questioning or storytelling can be one of the most challenging behaviors for families. It's not for lack of listening or a desire to annoy. It's a direct result of that glitching short-term memory we talked about. The answer is heard, but it's never recorded. The brain's save button is broken. For the person experiencing this, each question feels new and urgent. They are often seeking reassurance in a world that feels increasingly uncertain. According to the Journal of Geriatric Psychiatry and Neurology, this repetition is a coping mechanism as much as it is a symptom, an attempt to hold on to information that keeps slipping away. Seeing it through a lens of empathy rather than frustration is key. Sign number 10. When reality blurs. This last sign can be the most frightening. It's when the line between what is real and what is not begins to fray. This can manifest as visual hallucinations, seeing people, animals, or objects that aren't there, or auditory hallucinations, like hearing voices or music. While more common in later stages or specific types like Lewy body dementia, subtle perceptual changes can occur earlier. A person might see shadows moving in their peripheral vision or become deeply paranoid, believing someone is stealing from them when items are simply misplaced. Also falling under this category is a loss of control over bodily functions or incontinence. This is often a tipping point for families. It's crucial to understand this isn't a failure of the bladder or bowels, but of the brain's ability to recognize and respond to the body's signals. Recognizing these more advanced signs without shame or panic is vital for ensuring safety and dignity. Okay, let's take a collective breath. Hearing these signs laid out can feel heavy. It can be scary. But I want to be absolutely clear. This knowledge is not a forecast of doom. It is a call to action. It's the moment you stop being a passenger and take the wheel of your own brain health. While there is not yet a cure for dementia, the power you have to influence its trajectory is immense. The story of your brain is not finished. In fact, a new chapter begins right now. Your proactive toolkit for a resilient brain science has illuminated a clear path forward. Let's call it your proactive toolkit. First, move with purpose. You don't need to run a marathon. Just 30 minutes of brisk walking a day increases blood flow to the brain, reduces inflammation, and grows new brain cells. Think of it as watering the garden of your mind. Second, feed your genius. The Mind Diet, a hybrid of the Mediterranean and DASH diets, has been shown to slow cognitive decline significantly. It's simple. Load up on leafy greens, berries, nuts, olive oil, and fatty fish like salmon. You are literally building a better brain with every bite. Third, prioritize the brain's cleanup crew. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep per night. This is non-negotiable. It's your brain's dedicated time to repair, detoxify, and consolidate memories. Fourth, build your cognitive reserve. Challenge your brain every single day. Learn a new language, pick up a musical instrument, do complex puzzles, take a course online. Every time you force your brain to learn something new, you build new neural pathways, creating a cognitive cushion that can protect you against future damage. And finally, connect to thrive. Social isolation is rocket fuel for cognitive decline. Call a friend, join a club, volunteer. Meaningful social engagement is one of the most powerful brain protectors we have. The new frontier of hope. Beyond your own lifestyle, the world of science is experiencing a revolution. For decades, we were told nothing could be done. That is no longer true. New medications like lecanemab and donanemab are the first generation of drugs that have been proven to remove amyloid plaques from the brain and modestly slow the progression of early Alzheimer's. This is a monumental step forward. But the even bigger news is in diagnostics. Simple blood tests are now emerging that can detect the earliest biological signs of Alzheimer's years before major symptoms appear. Imagine a future where a routine checkup includes a screening for your brain health, allowing for intervention at the earliest possible moment. We are entering an era of proactive brain care, shifting from managing decline to actively preserving who we are. Thank you for walking this path with me today. You've done more than just watch a video. You've invested in your most precious asset, your mind. You are now equipped with the foresight to recognize the subtle whispers and the power to take meaningful action. This journey is not about fearing what might be lost, but about cherishing and protecting what you have. If one of these signs particularly resonated with you or sparked a moment of recognition, please consider sharing your experience in the comments. Your story could be the catalyst for someone else to take action. And if you found this conversation valuable, please give this video a like and subscribe to Young at Heart. Together, we are building a community that chooses to age with wisdom, vitality, and courage. Remember, the best time to start protecting your brain was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now. Stay curious, stay connected, and stay young at heart.